Come on. Come on. Come on. No, no, do not turn this way. Do not turn that way. Stop right now.
Found my Sunday.
Other way. I think I don't have the controls.
It's being very slow, and I'm not loading. Actually, loading here. It's not well on my end. On my
There's a
end,
sniper.
it's not loading.
Sniper.
Oh, what the fuck? I can vaguely see. So, is he actually?
God, Raiden, we have a problem. We have a problem.
Can he like shoot from the bastion?
We have a problem.
See, make a turn here.
Turn left. Come on, turn left. Or, you know, just sit there and fire your guns, whatever.
Still kind of an input lag on it.
That's not left!
Hold on.
Your other left!
Come on, Z, your other left. You know better.
Controls on. Fuck. See?
Oh, no.
You guys know how to
Wait,
turn that
they
shit
can
off?
stop firing. They can stop firing on us.
I can't get it to stop firing! Oh, shit, run!
Oh, great. They have a router.
I just took out that science.
I lost control of the weapons! Skynet has infiltrated the system!
So Rogue Planet Games finally contained what was affecting all of our 2020. No, not the coronavirus pandemic, that's a little below their pay grade. I am referring to the roaming storm on Esamir that would just decimate fights and end careers. What I do find hilarious is that every time the community asks for something and cries and whines about it, and the devs put it in, the community hates it. In the community's defense though, I think the storm could have worked, but I think it needed to be implemented just a little bit differently. For example, no overloading vehicles. But I'm not making this video to scream, whine, and cry frantically as to why the storm was a bad idea. Esamir got a revamp for the third time. More construction sites, good. Biolabs gone, which is also pretty good. A brand new facility called the Containment Site, along with some bases added to the game and some lattice redesigns, for the better. Before all that though, I want to talk about the best and worst weapon that has been added to Planetside 2. Or re-added, should I say. Say hello to the NS Scorpion. It can be as good as that one friend you only hang out with because there's nobody else available, or it could be like the reason you don't hang out with that one friend. The Scorpion is an airburst rocket launcher, the first added to Planetside 2. Brand new mechanic, brand new type of weapon, all that. Airburst rocket launchers, for those of you who do not know what an airburst is, you fire the airburst rocket launcher, the rocket goes over the target and explodes into little tiny shells over the area. Same thing applies to this one. Aim in, hold down the trigger to charge up the range, and then let go of the trigger when you have the correct range that you want to fire at. Judging the range can be a bitch, so it's advised that you use the waypoints that are already provided on your map. Right-click an area on the map and choose any of the waypoints that the game allows you to put down. After putting one of these waypoints down, you can then see the range as to where that waypoint is. So put the waypoint on enemies, and then fire your rocket at the correct range.
Everybody was else who said the original line.
Just broken at all.
Suicidating with the
Yeah, there's a bunch of blueberries up there, so
Good, I'm gonna keep firing.
What do you mean you're gonna keep firing? What?
There's a bunch of blueberries up there. Good.
Good.
I will instill in them the fear of the Scorpion.
Waypoint system too much effort? Yeah, it was for me too. So I turned on my Sweeper HUD implant. I'm not going to go into implants today because they're long, they're confusing, they cause pain to Blood Skull, but with pain to Blood Skull, inspires other people to buy the implants.
I don't want to buy more implant pad.
Yeah, it was fine.
We should go to Apex Genetics.
I like it, get anything good.
And then if you get Carapace, just take a screenshot of it and send it to Blood.
I already have Carapace.
I saw the data bag of Carapace twice in one day and sent it to Blood.
No, does Blood still not have Carapace?
No.
Alright, I'm kind of tempted to open up packs now.
While direct hits to infiltrate are a one-hit kill, I would not advise relying on them, because there's no explosive yield to the rocket, and it moves slower than erosion.
This rocket launcher looks like it should destroy anything, and instead it's kind of like shooting one of those giant foam Nerf darts or rockets.
It really is. It really is. But it's still fun to use, and you can kill beacons real easily with it. It just takes a lot of skill level. Speaking of new weapons and skill level, for the Planetside franchise anniversary, they released two new reskin weapons, of the Thumper and the Punisher. The Punisher is a god-tier submachine gun with a grenade launcher attachment to it, and the Thumper is a pretty good grenade launcher. actually might be like one of the only grenade launchers in the game. But I digress. My dumbass thought it'd be a good idea to buy both of these weapons to try and dual wield them on some of my characters, using my ASB skill points. I'll talk about that another time. Now, pro tip, don't use 2 of the exact same weapons in your classes. Before this, I was just wrecking people with the Punisher left and right. Now I use 2 of them, and my skill level crashed harder than Kevin TR and a mosquito.
There's a mosquito over the base.
Dude,
Might be Kevin.
You fucking crack me up every time you fly.
It's fast, but not good Okay, tracking.
We got a
Prowler.
Oh shit, oh that's Kevin, that's Kevin.
Oh,
Kevin.
Kevin, you're so lucky that I just barely killed you.
Quick, scour the wreckage! Dual thumpers? I don't even know why I thought that was a good idea. Oh no, I'm gonna spawn in. There's gonna be 1,000 people next to this router. Yup! Oh my god! Oh my god! I just went down to 13 frames. But I also just got 5 kills in that session. Worst part is that you can only get these guns with real money, and I spent the real money on them. So yeah, I feel pretty awful about myself. A small change in how Citadel shields work was released. You can no longer shoot through them if you're on the inside, so it's just an entire bubble that you can't shoot in or shoot out of. This has brought about a new toxic strategy of trapping your opponent in the base and in the bubble. Thank you, Nike.
Are you kidding? There's no way. Oh my
god, you saved my life, Nike! You saved my life! I had a sniper! I had a sniper fucking taking my ass out!
This is so fucking blessed.
All of a sudden the fucking...
The spire, boys!
All of a sudden a bubble from heaven just comes down and just shields my ass.
It's not worth the double expense. Oh, wait. Oh, somebody just dropped one.
Oh, did someone really drop one? Oh my god, someone did.
Another one.
They did it again.
It wasn't...
You better be recording, Raiden.
That is so toxic.
Hold on. Have I... That wasn't ours, right?
That is so toxic.
You just stay in their
No, that
bubble.
wasn't ours.
And now comes the good stuff. The final chapter of the Shattered Warpgate campaign has been released. This chapter was so short that I finished it in like a day. Some of the missions were quite a pain to get to because of all the campers that were camping the sites where the missions had to take place. The one where you have to stay alive in a harasser and drive across Esamir was grueling. Sorry for the spoiler, but whatever, it's gonna end at July 1st. So hurry up and finish the last campaign. Thankfully I had my teammates in the Night Ravens that were willing to help me out. They locked down and secured objectives and locations for me using sheer combat and tactical efficiency. Charge! Look out for Cordium bombs!
Cordium bomb! Run away!
Where?
I'm in the doorway!
Oh shit! Shout out to the NRB and Night Ravens. Discord link in the description. And with this final campaign comes the containment sites. The biolab replacement, if you will. These containment sites are massively, beautifully designed bases. I'm talking about the artwork and design, people. I'm not talking about the actual layout. The layout is confusing. Even with the arrows on the grounds, the orange for attackers and blue for defenders, it's still confusing us all. But these massive, giant population dumps are still really fun to play at. Combined arms on the top, and a lot of room to wiggle around on the bottom. Allow me to explain that a little bit better and a little bit more specific. There's multiple levels to these containment sites. Attackers start at the top and the outside of the facility. They need to break the shields and destroy the forward SCU. Now, once that's all over and the top has been taken, the attackers need to make their way down the staircase and into the facility itself. Taking over points B or C will give them satellite spawns into the facility. Watch all hell break loose. And here's the tricky little gimmick in the facility. In order to take the A point and be able to access the A point, the attackers need to turn off the Tempest. The Tempest is that big glowy thing in the center of the facility itself. Lore-wise, I assume that's what's holding the storm in, but I guess nobody really cares about lore. But anyway, to turn off the Tempest, go to the control panel that's overlooking the A point and hold E on it. This will then turn off the Tempest and allow people to go into room A. Defenders can only turn off the Tempest, while attackers can only turn it back on. Beware, because if you're in A point and the Tempest goes on, it'll kill everybody and everything in that room. You'll hear the loud alarm and see the red lights on the side. Finally, the coolest part of the facility, the vents. Ironically, Rogue Planet Games, it seems, have taken some notes from Among Us. There's a system of vents that lead around the facility that can help you in flanking, and they really work too.
There's a big push and...
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah, I like not being...
A whole squad just jumped out of a... I thought a solid wall, but apparently there's something back there. Between C.
Get over to B point. B point. We need help at B point.
Yeah, on my way.
And I got vent gang.
Oh shit, he flanked me. The facility's so big, and there's so many pathways to go around places, you could literally just take your entire squad through the vents and flank the enemy. So to break it all down, follow the arrows in the containment facility and don't go in the A room if the Tempest is online. Turn off the Tempest to lower the yellow shield in front of the A room, and use vents and try not to get lost in it. So I think that's about it. I know it was a lot to cover, but oh well, I'm always happy with new updates. Since we're on the topic of new updates, hopefully next video is the new faction update. Look, I'm calling it a new update. I know it's the NSO, I know it's the NS overhaul, but let's face it, they've been in the game for 2 years now, and this is basically a new faction. Hopefully the video after that is regarding the new player experience, and after that, well, I hope it's the new continent coming out later this year.
All nights I want it. I know you've been patient with me. All nights I need it. Tell me, girl, do you crave it like me? Hit me up when you're lonely. I know that you're waiting tonight. One time if you save it tonight.
Sometimes I love myself.